What's up, everybody? It's Lug the Artist. This is a no reference channel where we draw without any reference materials. So today we're going to go over the beginning guide to drawing faces. So before I even start, what I would like for everybody to do is to start going through and just drawing ovals, right? We're gonna do, let's try to fit 4 ovals in here. Now, on your ovals, I don't need for them to be exact, perfect, or anything like that. We're just gonna start off with 4 while I kind of read along. Actually, it might be 3. Yeah, we get 4 in here. Let's do 4. Jeez. Yep, we'll do 4. Gotta tighten it up afterwards. But I wanted to start off and just let everybody know, just in case I haven't told you before, that I am a self-taught artist. So what that means is I haven't had any formal education. I attended art school very briefly. Barely made it past 1 semester because I couldn't afford it. But I'm self-taught. I've been self-taught more or less my whole life. And being a self-taught artist, we don't know everything that's expected out of us or what utensils to use. Speaking of equipment, this video I'm using 2.0. The drafting pencil 2.0. It's not like the 0.5 that I normally use for the drafting, and then we're going to use 0.7. So, beginner's guide to drawing faces is what we're going to work on today. Give you some of the basics, and with the things that I teach you, in order to be self-taught and move yourself forward. You got to keep in mind the basic principles. Now, even though I'm a self-taught artist, I read a lot of books, did a lot of practice, always constantly working on everything. There is no perfect artist that exists in this world or has ever existed in this world. So, part of being an artist is the pursuit of perfection. So at this point, hopefully, yeah, you got 4 circles. In these circles, I don't want them to be exact. I don't want them to be perfect. That's not the point to this video. If we want to make perfect drawings, then we would do something totally different. So we at least got 4. This head right here is a little bit big. So as we do all of our videos, we start off with what's good in our life. So what I want to talk about what's good in my life is, thank goodness it's fall. Yeah, got my ride, everything else. That AC blew in Florida, AC for an expensive car, which I got based upon my previous job, prior to this one. It is not cheap to fix the AC. So I don't have that extra $2,500 just waiting around for me in order to put in a brand new AC unit. So I'll be honest, summertime, man, I was chilling at the crib. It's too damn hot in Florida to be out there with no AC. Plus, I ain't no little guy. So ain't no little guy, so I'll be sweating easy out there. So yeah, I was trying to do all that. Take a nice hot shower, you be chilling, thinking you looking fly and stuff. You want to go out and be sweating bullets in a hot, expensive car. So more or less, what's good about my life is we're into fall. It is finally getting a little bit cooler out in Florida, and yeah, I can roll around at least a little bit more, which is always a great thing without the AC. A couple of things that we learned from the previous videos is once you upload something to YouTube, you can't go back and edit it. You got to do a brand new video. So if you looked at the video, should I draw traditionally or digitally? I went back, I changed everything to where the beginning part you can actually see all this hard work we're about to put in. So also learned a couple things about format in the audio, how to record. So yeah, this channel is a work in progress. So I know everybody's like, hey, I drew my 4 circles. What are we doing now? Stop talking about your life, right? But that's Lug the Artist, you know? Talk about everything here on this channel. I've seen channels before to where they do amazing work artistically, but they don't talk. They don't show you anything. Sheet of paper. Just to let you know, I thought about y'all. Y'all was working on some stuff. See that right there? Moving around a little bit. Kind of thought about what exactly I was going to do with this video. But all right, it's beginner's guide to drawing faces. So I only want the best for y'all out there. If you like me, no formal education, you love drawing, you're an artist, it's a channel for you, you know? And even if you're just starting, you were always creative, we're just starting. I really don't like how I did all 4 of these ovals, but oh well. We're gonna work with it, gonna make it happen. So, you know, like I was saying, if you're a self-taught artist, nobody really teaches you anything. You're just picking it up on your own. And this is we're no reference channel. It's pretty much all from my imagination, which means I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have my cell phone out with a set picture of how to draw somebody's face in the pose that I want, the expression. This is all creating from your mind, which will unlock your true potential and your certain artistic style. So here we go. Beginner's guide for drawing faces. So the first thing we want to start off with, we have our oval, right? Oval's all scratchy, everything else. We're gonna do a center line. With this center line, pretty much breaking this oval up into halves, right? So this is our half. As a matter of fact, on your piece of paper, go ahead and do it for all 4. So here we go. On the second one, center line. Third one, center line. Try not to judge me by my crooked lines right now. If we wanted it to be exact, we would bring out a ruler. But that's not the point. The point is to get used to doing the basics so you can do the most with your talent and not be reliant upon reference material. So we got our center line. Now on this oval, what we want to do, we want to draw a center line that cuts it in half. So you're going to have more or less kind of like a crosshair. We're doing it for all 4, right? So now with this crosshair, this is dividing the head from what they call the cranial mass. I'll put that right here. Don't judge my spelling. You know, brother be struggling a little bit. Matter of fact, I failed art. Yeah, that's a story for. I failed art class. That's a story for another day. It's part of my rebellion. Yeah, I'll tell you about it one of these days. Keep tuned in. By the way, if you really want to support me, it doesn't cost you anything. Like, subscribe, share the videos, the support that you provide to me. It greatly helps me while I'm putting out these videos. So, all right, got our crosshairs, right? All across our 4 faces. We divided up our oval. We have the length. We have the width. And the bottom of our chin. So a big part to this is this distance right here from our crosshairs. This, how can I do it? Like this. Call that A to B distance. This distance, forgive my spelling, definitely not a writer. Need a writer, try to get a writer, just didn't work. So this distance, this little portion right here, this tells us how we need to divide the length of the head. So without a ruler, take your finger, put it right here. I do this a lot in my drawings. So this is a quick measurement without using a ruler. It works for me 9 out of 10 times. So if we take this distance right here, right? Take from the top of our head. I think I did that right. So this is number 1. Sorry. First portion. That same distance, we want to go down to number 2. Feet right here. Keep it as straight as possible. I'm all achy shaky. It's the late night videos. This is what I do. So this is portion number 2. Alright. Take that same distance. Alright. Got the fingers like that. Take it down here. Really? I was doing it correctly. Let's be number 3. Okay. So we got 1. I'll do a little shading right here. That's 1. This is 2. And we'll try it a different way. That's number 3. It's to the bottom of our chin, technically, if we're matching up everything correctly. So we can even at this point kind of tighten up our circle a little bit. And truth be told, when you're self-taught artist, it takes a while, even for the professionals out there. It takes some time to kind of figure out everything. That's okay. That's what we're here for. We're here to learn, bring out your own talent, and do the best that we can. And I still messed that up. Go back. That's about right. Got it right the first time. So where's my trusty dusty eraser? Yeah, I hardly ever erase when I'm sketching, but for y'all, I'm trying to make a great video. So we shall see. So what have we figured out so far? Center line, distance right here, how to section it off. 1, 2, 3. Still don't like that line, but we'll figure it out. You'll get the gist of it. So at this point, now that we have kind of our distance, this center line right here, that is our eyebrow ridge. Alright, so you think eyes, they're going to be below this line, kind That's eyebrow line. So at this point, we're like, all right, we need a nose, we need a mouth. So if you take this center point, let's go halfway down. Just be about halfway down. About right here. Right? This is our nose. So to illustrate our nose, rock out this blade. That's our nose right there. It is halfway between that center knot line that we initially made. Halfway down, that's the bottom of your nose. It's right here. So I'll even draw this. Nose. Alright, so we got the nose. And just in case y'all can't tell from the past videos, I highly entertain myself while I'm doing a video, so I hope y'all entertain as well. So now at this point, if we're at the halfway point, and I might as well do this. Let's take this out here. That is our nose line, right? From this point on, nose line down breaks up into thirds. So the first third, say it's right here. Second third, right here. And this would be the third. This would be a third. Should be kind of decent. You can always measure more, but this is the gist of the idea. So we got 1, 2, 3. Broke it into thirds. This top line is actually our upper lip, which we can draw a line right here. Bottom part, lower lip, right? Draw like that. This third line, the third, this is our chin. So now, if we look back on things, we had an oval, we split it in between, right in the middle with our length. We split it in the middle for our width. We broke down, because of these two lines right here, how long our face needs to be. There's the 1, here's the 2, around there, there's the 3. Right? So we got our length, we got our width, we have the bottom of our nose, which goes from this middle point on all the crosshairs. If we go halfway down, there's the bottom of our nose throughout all the pictures, right? From the bottom of our nose, we break it into the final third, which we have our upper lip, we have our bottom lip, we have the bottom of our chin. Now, at this point, which I don't think I discussed with y'all further, but right here, how do we portion out our nose, our eyes, our mouth? Tell you a couple things. Let's start with the eyebrow line, right? Got this line right here. It's our eyebrow line. So the width of your head should be about 5 eyes in width. So the way we'll do that is, here's one. Y'all getting this self-taught artist course for no charge. The only thing you gotta do is like and subscribe, but no charge for this course. Use it and run with it. So here we go. That's 1 eye, 2 eyes, 3 eyes, 4, and then 5. So what do is we have 5 eyes across. Kind of matches up. Got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So with your nose, get out this blue. Your nose in width would typically be just one eye, right? So if you take the eyes that I drew, the five, this middle eye, take that right down. That is your nose right there. Nose goes in kind of a triangle, just to kind of let you know something. Jeez, yeah, I can't even see that. So, my apologies. Let me try to adjust this camera a little bit. All right, I gotta do better. Trying out the actual cell phone for recording footage. So I haven't figured out yet how to screen share, so I keep an eye on how the video goes. But y'all kind of got the gist of the majority of this. But all right, so the blue is our nose, right? We have our eyes across here, nose down here, and then from your nose, it's actually going to let you know where you need to place your eyes. So if this is the width of my nose, first eye that we made, if you go on the pine, the edge of the nose up to the top, this line right here. This is going to tell us where our eye goes. Right? 5 eyes across. You know, when I'm doing this, it actually helps me out as well. It's good to always remember. Yeah, teach somebody else, you'll definitely teach yourself again. So, all right, here we go. So we got our eyes right there, 5 eyes across, the 2 in the middle. My bad. So, all right, here we go. So down here, we have our nose. We're not doing anything elaborate or anything, just more or less spectacular. We're just trying to show what the proportions would be. So from this point on, got our nose, got our eyes. The middle part of your eye is going to come down actually. Let's get this purple out here. Purple's for the lips. Middle part of your eye will come down to the edge of your lips. Right? So with the purple, I'm going to draw in the lips. Seen in previous videos, said the upper lip is more or less like the letter M. So this is elongated M for the upper lips. Bottom lips. We did this before when we broke down how we were going to draw this particular picture. Bottom of the lips, like a W, it is less than the upper lip. Now, just to recap, the nose was 1 eye in width, right? Came down here. We did our 5 eyes across. The immediate eyes are matching up with the edge of the nose. The middle of our eye is coming down to the edge of our lips. And then, edge of our lips, we have our upper lip that we figured out before. We have our bottom lip. We figured out before. We have the bottom of our chin. So, in order to get your chin correctly from this same center line, we're going straight down like this This gives us our chin. The width of the chin should match up with the center of your eye. Technically, it's the eye socket, which kind of goes right here like that. But for right now, center of the eye, down to the edge of the lip, down to the chin. That is the width. All of this is how you match up your chin. All right. So now, at this point, we have another thing to go over. I think I got another. I'll use this one again. So, at this point, that being our nose, our eyes, our mouth, the chin, to get your jaw just right, we're going to do more or less a 30%, kind of 30% angle out here from the inside of your eye down to this corner. We're going to match it, the middle part where your lips meet up. This little angle right here tells you the edge of the jaw. Do the same on the other side. Right? This right here. So we got to draw a line. We have our chin down here. We figured out how to break up the oval, how many eyes across it goes, the bottom of our nose, our lips, our chin, the jaw on the side. Right? So now we really cooking right now, right? So here we go. We did eyes, mouth, chin, nose. To match up your ears, it would be the bottom of your nose and the top of the eyebrow ridge, which we did originally. Yeah, that's the eyebrow ridge, right? So our ears, I think I'm running that up. I got one more. So our ears would be right here. Kind of the top of that ridge down to the bottom of your nose. Go across, same thing on the other side. So we got our ears, got our eyes. I didn't even draw the eyebrows yet, but we'll get to that. Now, for your cheek, I think it's middle. What was it? Let me check it. Now, if you're wondering, oh yeah, Lee, you draw without no reference. That is true, but when you're struggling a little bit, and you can't remember something, go back to your anatomy books. They will definitely help you or remember exactly what the proportions are. But I'll put it to you this way: it does not help you if you're trying to draw to copy directly off somebody's work or directly off the book that you just read. It doesn't help you at all. You know, the only way to get better is figuring it out on your own. And if you're relying on somebody else's reference, then what are you truly learning? You can't create as quickly and as freely as you would like. So that's one of the main reasons why I often say, you know, it's a no reference channel. I don't have the perfect picture lined up right here to where I could just look at that picture and draw over here the exact same thing that I'm looking at on this side. That's why I wanted to do this channel. I saw too many artists out there that are just, a lot of ways kind of faking the funk. I want to be different, show you what a true artist does. So, all right. So in that pause, I did more or less, I had a review. My anatomy book is Bernie Hogarth, who shows you dynamic anatomy, dynamic figure shaping. If you haven't picked up that book, that brother been around, past his time even, and this book still stands because it's a way of drawing without any type of reference. And if you pick up the basic ideas that he's preaching, you'll get a lot better. So that has a lot to do with my style. So anyway, on the cheek, midway point of the nose, you go from the bottom of the eye socket, which should kind of be around here. Right? So right around there. That's the bottom of the eye socket. And then for your actual cheek, bottom of this nose. So if we were to draw a cheek, it would be something like this. Middle over here, kind of down like that. Cheekbones. There we go. There's the cheeks. It sounds so funny when I said it, but there goes the cheeks right there. Right? So at this point, what you learned so far is the oval, breaking down the distance into halves, your eyes, your cheeks, your nose, your lips, your chin. Now, since this is a beginner's course in how to draw faces, this basic principle you need to get down, right? So what I would like for you to do is draw at least 10 ovals. Get used to matching up everything, like how I showed you, breaking down the distance where your nose is placed with that eye in the middle, 5 eyes across, your lips, your chin, your jaw, your ears. You need to do this at least 10 times first without adding in any extra details that makes you as an artist. You do this first, then you elaborate on something else. So I can't believe I done went about 30 something minutes just on this portion. Really need to figure out how we can draw and be a little bit faster at that. So I know y'all got an attention span like a dog seeing a squirrel. So no, I ain't got you that long. So focus in on this. And real briefly, what I'm gonna do before I even get to the other 4 pictures, I'm gonna draw in real quick with the ink pen how it normally goes, and then you can kind of check this out. So I got it here. Here we go. So the way I normally start, typically I always start with the eyes. Middle part of the eye, kind of makes your eyelid. If you want to age somebody up, you can draw lines at the end of your eyelid. Got bottom eyelid, and then I will go down to starting to work on the nose. So going down on the nose, what you can do is kind of match up what you're doing on one end to the other end by doing this. Get down here. All right, nose tie. So I drew in some nostrils. Typically like to shade under the nose because that's a typical thing. Go down here, kind of cartilage for the upper lip, which is cool. Go like this, maybe a little smile. Trick to making a smile, draw an upper line, make a smile, kind of like that. Upper lip is larger than the bottom lip, so we'll go through. Kind of do it like this. Fill in that bottom lip. See how we match things up with our chin? Just because I'm feeling froggy, we're going to give him a cleft chin. Just put it up here like this. I think that's what people call it. Who knows? All right, back to the cheek that we described earlier. Here we bring it down here for a little bit more clarity. Even draw a little bit of shade here. You notice in a lot of my work, I jump around a lot because it's kind of like if I see something wrong, I fix it. So here we go. Let's get these eyes right. And what I do too to kind of check where I'm at, I'll just take my hand across here. The more you draw, the better you'll get at kind of lining things up without needing a ruler. Yeah, I'm still off sometimes, but that's okay. Yeah. Now I'm doing the eyebrows. You want to understand how to draw with a lot of emotion. Look at emojis. Somebody will have something that, if you really want an emoji, I'll show it to you here. Like them happy face emojis. If you look at what they do with a smiley face, it is pretty much the same. This is my trick, showing emotion, things like that. Take a look at your emojis. Yeah, they will show you in those emojis with the eyebrows, the eyes. You don't even have to do the nose. You just do something like this. That's how I come up with emotion with my characters. It is such a simple trick that I don't think anybody really kind of explains. But if you want to draw some emotion, look at your emojis, draw a smiley face, and then what you do in those smiley faces is what you can do up here. All right, so it's a little trick. You'll be surprised at how well that works. So right now, since I'm so long into this video, it's funny every time I do these videos, try to make them shorter for y'all. But art is not a short process. It takes time. So I appreciate y'all for listening to me and kind of watching the video. So more than likely, I'm gonna have to break this bad boy up into a couple of different videos. But I just wanted to show you how I break down the front view of the face. We can even age this character up a little bit. You can do that. There's certain lines that you can make that shows wrinkles. Typically, the ones in between your eyes. You can go out. The inside of your eyes can also show wrinkles. The outside of your nose, you can show wrinkles. This outer part to your lip, going down, you can show wrinkles. If you ever want to age somebody up, typically, hell, even give this character, let's give him a few lines, like right here, down in the crease, lines, right? For the hair, start here at the top. Maybe they got a good hairline. It's around here, but let's just make this brother bald. You call it a day. Now, when I'm doing here, I'm not going to do anything way too elaborate right now. Give me a little bit here. But one thing I kind of learned just probably a while ago, but you can always vary your lines. So if you go this way, go under, go over, under, over. It's just a good way to vary your lines. Show a little motion. Yeah. A little bit of motion. You got a big ass forehead though. But it's okay. Kind of gets the gist. So, yeah. Then, haven't taught y'all yet. Got that neck come down. I didn't get this way overnight. It took a lot of practice, awful lot of practice. Even when everybody was telling me no, I said yes. I'm gonna keep moving forward. So, what we learned today, this long ass video, is how we break this face up. We did our oval, our eyebrow line, our nose line, our mouth line. We figured out where exactly we want our ears. We have our eyes, which center of the eyes come down the edge of the mouth, down to the chin, and I'll even draw a little bit of eyes here. So, alright. So when we're drawing our little eyes, technically it's a circle. So typically, I would draw something, kind of show that it's an oval. Make a little dot here, little circle, and then I like to go from that circle and just draw some straight lines like that. It's typically how I do it. it's not a short video, but it's a valuable video because being a self-taught artist, this is how I learn. Anything that I learn does you no good to go through it one time. You have to practice it multiple times, and then you'll find yourself making it into second nature, to where it doesn't take as long as you think in order to draw, front view of the face. So for all my beginners out there, go through, do exactly. You're gonna figure out some things on your own, but just a good starting point is the proportions that I went through. Start with that first, like this, at least 10 times, practice it, then try to draw something real. So at this point, I've said it many times, it's a long video, but I think it's a video that's worthwhile. So next video we'll come back, kind of reiterate some of the things that I went over in this one, just real briefly, and then I'll do probably a sketchbook session to show you how stick figures could show movement, kind of make things work. And then we're going to come up with a comic book scene using just faces. All right, so that's what we have to look forward to. So I'd like to end every video with just kind of the tip of the day. So I would like to say this: if you make a mistake in life, mistakes happen. Nobody is perfect. As an artist, my goal is to be perfect on every picture that I make. It is the pursuit of perfection, because perfection is impossible to reach. None of us are God. So when you make a mistake, instead of beating yourself up all the time, realize everybody makes mistakes, and a mistake is all right, but you got to learn from it and do better the next time. So with that being said, I made millions of mistakes in my life, but each day there is nothing we can do about our past. We can plan for the future, but we only have today. So make the most out of it. So this is your beginner's guide to drawing faces. Let me know how you feel in the comments if you found it valuable, and show me, what you've drawn, what you learned from this, and please like, share, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps a brother out on our channel. So thank you, love you, have a great night.